Drew and Ray here.
So we were about to start talking about the George Floyd case. But apparently, us two micro little YouTubers who started a channel because we reached our precipice have been, what is the word, demonized?
Demonized.
Us.
2 episodes.
So our second episode that was epic, they took down because somebody's feelings were hurt. Oh my God, their feelings were hurt. What are you talking about? This is absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
This is, if something can happen to us, we have 2 subscribers as of right now. We will have many, many more. I promise you that. But the fact is, when people come back to view this video, they're going to realize that, holy crap, this is not all over again. Oh, I said the word. I have to beep that out because apparently there's how many words that you can't say?
Over 15,000.
Wow. You can't say words? You can't just talk? You're not allowed to express your feelings?
Nope.
The way that I view it is that I don't care who you are. You can have a picture of here. I can't even say it.
Can't
up
even
here.
say it there. Yeah, there it is.
So we're learning early that is one of the worst platforms on the planet. It just has the most people on it. So eventually, this is going to be gone. We'll be on. I'm sure those words are demonized too. So watch the video while you can.
You know, we'll beep those out. We'll put them right up there.
Bingo. Until they figure that out. Or whatever. But it just goes to show right now how crazy it is to live. I love the word, I used to use it a lot when I was younger, bonkers. Because it is bonkers.
It is bonkers. Definitely bonkers.
This is ridiculous. If your feelings are hurt, go in your safe space, rock back and forth, and accept the fact that your feelings suck because you're causing so many problems because you're afraid for people to talk. You're just afraid.
In the first episode, I said, this is America, we can say things. Not on YouTube. Can't say anything.
And what's funny was, the 1 subscriber we have now, you'll get this. And by the way, yes, I love Sierra games as well. But the fact is that we're allowed to say things. Apparently not. Look, I think that this country has gotten to a point because of lawyers. That's my opinion. I think people have had a point where, oh my God, that was offensive. Why? Because if you wore pink on this day, you offended enough. Like, I tell my wife all the time, I'm not going to lie to people and cover tracks just because you don't want to tell someone you're doing something. No, if they don't like it, fine. It's enough. I don't care anymore. If I say something that offends you, then tell me it's offensive and I'll try not to offend you. But when you identify as a 6-year-old panda to enter a karate tournament, you got to look at your life and see who you are. It's insane. Bonkers, precipice, all this stuff, these words, I'm telling you, we've been talking about this for weeks now. This is absurd. Had I put out the video that I made for potential subscribers later, it would have made what they took down look, they would, honestly, I think they would hit the bar and they would be there for at least a week straight. I just said simple things, like our was based upon, right? They don't like to admit it, but it's a fact, all right? I would love to be talking about George Floyd right now. This is the epic moment. They're going to divide us. This is not just about race. It's not a black and white anymore. They are ripping us apart so that we can't even talk to each other. Think about this. When was the last time that you looked at somebody and you knew what their political stance was and you didn't want to talk to them, right? How often has that happened where you can't even have a conversation without it getting to a point where you're no longer friends anymore? But facts are there. There have been that have broken through the mold. You had recently, I can't even say his name anymore.
We'll just go like this.
But the whole point of the Western Central Bank.
My bad.
Yeah, right. But this is going to go down as the biggest sting operation ever. You don't think, look, my last thing that I made for you last night, I didn't have to, but we're on a journey right now. We need to get, if you don't want to voice your opinion, that's fine. We're going to. And if we have to do this to do it, we're going to. And again, to emphasize the fact that our families have businesses, and we don't want them to get burned to the ground or somebody to come in with their feelings hurt. This is not a college campus, by all means. It's far from it. It's the opposite of that. And the kids are being poisoned mentally. And when you see somebody triggered, like, they're activated. Maybe it's mind control. Who knows? But when their feelings are so hurt that they have to go into a special area and just do what? What do you do there? You just...
I heard they build blocks.
It's like at the Star Wars theme park. You couldn't make your droid and play with it. You had to go into a special delegated area, which I get because probably people got hurt and they would probably sue. I get it.
Or they'd break them.
Or they break and someone would be like, well, they're not cheap. But this is a fight right now. I'm serious. I don't care how many subscribers we get, but we need to fight. And like once in a while, you got to go over to like the dark side because, listen, it doesn't mean you get judged like that when you die and saying, oh, you did this. No, screw that. If they're not going to play nice, then don't play nice anymore. Enough. These people suck. Liberals are the worst. Here's an example. Let's do this because one person went to the bar and drank, and then they went out and they got into a car crash and they killed somebody. I have an idea. Fine, let's take away cars. What? That's the same example with guns. It's the same example. You don't have the capacity to fight someone with a gun unless you have a gun, or unless you're just Bruce Lee or somebody who's awesome, or if it's at close proximity where you can do one of the maneuvers. But guns don't kill people.
Idiots kill people.
Exactly. And everyone needs to look up the term pat, and also because you're going to see a bunch of them come down. They're going to. This sting operation set everybody up. And this is part of a 16-year plan. It was supposed to be, right? And then it was supposed to be, right? 16-year plan didn't happen. Now, I also made a segment that said that all are related. And most people don't know that. All of them are related. Some being 10th, 12th cousins, even I said the word, I have to beep it. No, I don't have to beep it. Even he's 10th cousins to him. There's only one president out of all of them that's not related at all. And I'm going to put a picture up of the guy who they're all related to. It's the 8th president of the United States. All of you were thinking Obama, right? Wow, you guys are Actually, you're not. Because you know why? It would make sense if you had a room full of all white dudes and one black guy. It just is an obvious thing. It wasn't true. It's not that you're a racist. Anyone who's a racist now, just, look, go away. Just go away. There's no need for this crap right now. Color doesn't matter. It doesn't. We're all the same thing. But did you know that fact about this?
No, you're not.
Okay.
That was a new fact for me.
Okay. That's true. You don't have to take my word for it, but that opens the picture up. Think about it. If that is true, which it is, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean? If they're all related, do we have a choice?
I don't know.
I mean, when I first read that, I didn't even think it was true. I was like, this is, propaganda. And then I'm like, it was a 12-year-old girl doing a school project. And she found the lineage all the way back. I can't remember the guy's name right now, but it will be up there. They're all related to this one guy. It's a fact. Why do you think there's look at the back of the $1 bill. I'm not even going to say what's there because that'll get flagged. I mean, these guys are just the worst with words. You can't even say anything. Can I speak a different language? Would that change anything? Or is it the translation?
I don't know.
This is the most ridiculous. Listen, we have had 2 videos out. 2! And they came after us and they said, our feelings are hurt. Do it again, we'll give you a strike. Well, you know what? Let's make these 3 strikes work in our favor. And then we'll go from Save America Now Q22, which has meaning to it. Okay? If you understand that, I don't want to tell you about that. I want you to get that. But if we have to change to 23 and 24 and 25, then you get the point. We're going to do that.
Right? I also want to point out that they didn't just demonize the video. They now have stopped us from talking to our 1 subscriber.
Funny point. Here, tuck your thing in.
It is tucked in.
Kind of flopping around.
Oh, it's flopping around? Oh.
And then the last videos, apparently I looked like a flapping female genitalia part. I was all over the place. Well, now I'm tucked in. And I'm pulled back. Can't really breathe. Can't really see. I feel like my face is squished. But we're doing it. Oh, yeah. So the fact is, I was having a conversation with our subscriber, and they won't even let me talk to him or her anymore. I can't have a conversation. He's still allowed to see it.
And you want to know why? Because he said one thing.
Okay. So back in the day when I played video games, I had games by Sierra, which were adventure games with the floppy disks. Does anybody remember those floppy disks? Those annoying things, right? I said one word. It was a quest game. I can't even say the name because it offends people. Because of that, I can't talk to a certain person. So,
you know what? We'll just post, if we can find it, we'll post it right here. And we'll show you what it is.
Which might be our first strike because we can't post the post that we got about posting stuff.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I want everyone to understand something. The Founding Fathers...
It's bonkers.
Bonkers. We're probably one of the smartest group of people you could ever think about because we had to do what were called amendments, okay? Because it wasn't perfect. But according to our current, whatever you want to call the guy, the one who's children, who you voted for, hopefully not, and are regretting it, but that book was written so well, but there were bits and pieces in there. Like, oh, by the way, we shouldn't have slaves. That's a bad thing. Let's put that amend to the Constitution. I don't know if it's written that you should have them or we changed it. All I know is that the amendments are supposed to be for the people. But by the way, they're saying that they're not, and that they're basically an interpretation. They're not just, is what our current whatever has said. Well, if that's the case, then let's screw the 16th Amendment, which says the federal government deserves for you to pay taxes. How the hell does that help us? Does that help you?
Not me at all.
That puts more money in your pocket, right? By paying taxes? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Said nobody because it doesn't work like that. Now, the Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, which they claim to be the greatest. Me, I put them up to 15. You know why? 13, 14, 15 have to do with people of color, making sure they're not slaves, they have rights, they can vote, even women can do that. Those are super important. Now, those are an interpretation? Like, they don't count anymore? What happened? What are you talking about? See, this has to be a setup. And I'll tell you why, Ray. Because this has to be what the plan is. That this had to happen and that everyone needs to see what's going on right now. And we're not only seeing it, but we're experiencing it.
Right.
How do you feel about gas? I filled up with gas today. $54. $54 for gas.
I have a hybrid. It took me $34 to fill up.
It's ridiculous.
Isn't that ridiculous? $34 for a hybrid.
Like, what happened? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. Somebody came into the mix, did some really good things, ran the country like a business, kept our country first. And look what's happening now. Look what's happening now. You know the next wave? You saw it. The guy said it. Did you see that video about when they went undercover and they interviewed that guy who was admitting that they overhyped?
We can't even mention him because we'll get demonized.
But Project V, you know what we're talking about. They admit it. And now, you know, if you were on the right and you did that, you would forget it, right? But if you voted for someone that undoes everything good for these people, that decides he's going to come out of his basement today, crackhead son, who, by the way, he put a book out, and it failed so miserably. I mean, it wasn't even... Usually people like bad publicity is good publicity, right?
Yeah.
It didn't even work for him.
No.
People are like, this guy is just a moron.
Yep.
He's an idiot.
Yep.
He drops a lot off, and he doesn't realize that it's almost like, do you remember, and this is funny, because you remember Anthony Weiner?
I remember him, yeah.
Okay? All of this stuff came out because it was on his lap. So he ultimately potentially saved us from having in office because everyone was like, whoa, this chick is bad news.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So next on the chopping block is going to be change of the... Are we allowed to even...
No, they're not.
All right, something to do with the weather. Okay? You got to look up a certain thing. We rotate every 13,000 years and we get closer to the sun, and then 13,000 years we get further away. It was a Russian scientist that actually discovered that. So yes, warming.
You said it.
What did I
The
say?
collusion.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
They're going to find out that I'm a Russian agent.
Oh my God.
We're going to have to edit this. 3 years of my life I'm going to have to worry about this? Tell me I'm not over exaggerating.
Oh no, I don't think you are, man.
Oh my God. They're going to go after everything. My taxes, everything. And you know what? You're going to lose. Because everything is fake to you. You know, it's amazing how you look at certain things that our former beautiful president said. And they're all coming true right now. They're all coming true. When you put in the F news, I hate the fact that I have to abbreviate. I feel like an Australian. They abbreviate the abbreviations. Whatever. That came out to be true. Look at all the bad things that have happened, right? All of these things that are weaponized that aren't even true, that they run with, and they go with it. Like, news is true. I just said, am I use no, we can't even, whatever. If I bleep it, it'll actually sound better. So, but we just need, look, I honestly, the Floyd case right now, do not be intimidated by it. The jurors have a tremendous decision to make. If you've watched any of the footage, I've tried to explain to you a lot about it. A lot of people don't want to watch it because it's just, it's just a bunch of lies. But there was a training manual, and apparently he was doing his, we don't know about how much time and all that stuff too. But we have to be very careful right now. I mean, do we want to have a civil war at this stage? No. And that's what our former president didn't want either. He wanted nothing to do with that. Otherwise, he could have rounded everybody up and put them in prison. A lot of people need to go to jail. And that's the beautiful part about that, is that you get on the scent for a second, and then what happens? It's something else.
Yeah, something else.
And that's why you can't think you know what's going on. You don't. You think you know. You may know, but it's not going to work like that. Why do you think these people like Powell and Lynn, why do you think they keep, and Lindell, right? Was he added to those words?
Probably.
Whatever. Why do you think they keep saying, believe, believe, believe? Why do you think they keep saying that? Because they've seen what's about to happen, but the problem is that it's not happening, and they think it's supposed to be happening. But this has to go on for some more time. It has to. These people need to get caught. Right? There has to be, you can't do something when people don't understand what's happening. People need to be at their precipice. They need to be at wit's end. I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm tired of this. I can't afford to send my daughter to dance class. I can't do this. I'm done. Okay? And I'm willing to risk everything because I'm tired. I'm done. I can't take it anymore. We're definitely not there yet. I mean, some of us are. If you tune into like, or
Yep.
You're there. Especially if you watch, you're there. And you think you know, let's see, that was a symbol apparently. Anyway, go cry in a corner about it. Not a racist, not a racist. Anyway, just stick together. Don't buy into the crap with this Floyd stuff. I know it looks bad, but if you watch all the video, listen, people, death is never, ever, ever something to take lightly. We know that. We talk about this all the time. Ray and I did it again. The symbol. I'm not doing. See, people I think just do this on reaction or like as a thing. You know, Italians do it all the time. They move their hands crazy. And they do certain things. So hopefully this goes well. We can get some more points across. And this is not going to be just a political station. Yes, we want everybody to be happy about our former beautiful, amazing president who did a lot of good things. We all know he did. And if you don't, that means you're not watching the right stuff or not doing your homework. So do your homework or don't complain because your feelings and facts do not matter. Okay? Lowest unemployment for all sorts of ethnicities. We had low gas prices, energy independence, right? We had a lot of great things. Let me try. Oh, that's because if you have an experimental medication and you're dying, you have the right to try it, even if it doesn't work.
Right.
What about the death tax? When your family member who leaves you money dies and they leave you an inheritance, you have to pay a huge chunk of tax on that. I think it's like 34%, 40%. Why? Why do you have to pay that? Like you pay, first off, you pay taxes. And when you buy things, you pay taxes on the things that you're buying, right? And people leave you money, you pay taxes on that. Now, we've had conversations about taxes before. Yes, you need it for like and things like that. But you don't need an abundance of tax. State tax is, you don't have that in where? Texas?
State tax?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of places where you don't
right?
have state
Florida,
tax.
I think, is one of them. What do you think?
New Hampshire is one of them.
Now, where do you think you have mega tax? Is it in your Democrat?
Mostly in Democrat states.
Okay, so why don't you name two big ones?
Two big ones: California, New York.
There you go. Okay, it is absurd to live in those states.
But I'll mention one more: Washington.
And I think Illinois as well. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, Illinois too.
But you look at all the districts of where the worst crime and the worst homelessness, and it's got a D next to it, except for one, and that's an independent. So what does that tell you? People hate politicians, don't they? Why would we hate a politician? What do they say, and then what happens?
Well, they promise things and then they don't go through with it.
Right. So it's probably fair to say we should probably not have any more politicians in Congress or presidency. Well, at least presidency.
Or at least, limit to what they are allowed to do, or limit the amount of time they're allowed to take office.
Right, term limits.
Limits.
Bingo. And why don't we have term limits? Because of the people that are running the show.
There's only a few places where you can have term limits. Only a few.
And all of a sudden, right now, I can't even talk about this.
No.
Laws are being changed. Now, I can't speculate as to why, because then it will be our first official strike, because God forbid you talk about something that's actually happening right now. It's actually happening right now. Now, there's also these going on, and what happens when the comes out? This is so annoying, because it's a lot of editing. Like, I shouldn't have to do this, that. It's just so annoying, because I could put these things up. But whoever does stumble upon the video, if you resonate at all to some of the stuff we're talking about, which I know most of you do, it's just we don't know how to get the voice out there. We need help.
Right.
We're trying our best. And as soon as we did, guess what? I feel...
Demonized.
F you. This is ridiculous. Mike Lindell is supposedly creating a platform that can handle 1 billion users at a time. 1 billion. So there's no excuse anymore. Which is the one they took down?
Didn't they take down?
They took down. How the hell did they do that? How? Like, for what? Like, what did they base that on?
They said it was due to hate speech.
You're living in a society where you can identify as a pink unicorn. You're living in a society where most states now are not even putting down the baby's Are you kidding me? This is absolutely absurd.
But yet,
Whoa. You're going to have an objection to the...
no,
Okay.
no objection to the objection.
Okay. So what were you saying then?
Well,
It sounded like you were going to say...
I was going to say something, and I was related to something else, but
Are you allowed to say it?
well, the problem is though is that after you asked me the completely slipped my mind. So I'm just going to say.
You know what? I'm not going to interrupt you next time, but I was dumbstruck by the fact that I thought you were really going to have a, in the other...
I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
But when you have an opinion about something, then there's a problem.
I wish you could see my facial expressions. Maybe you can now that I feel like I have saran wrap touched to my face. Haven't been able to breathe at all, as you could probably hear. But we brought this thing up before. If you take somebody that's fighting a world war and you just go back and snap them out and you slap them on the ground and say, here's what's happening now, they're going to lose their shit. They're out there taking grenades, bullets. They're not eating. They're not cleaning themselves. They're terrified. And you can't say things because you're afraid of people talking too loud, so you have to do these things at like your debates. What is wrong with you? And if you do come across as a far left, ask yourself a question. Do you really feel like it's okay to take something that has 9 months worth of development and just eliminate it? Why can't you just keep it, pass it on to someone who wants it? You know what I'm talking about, because people are going to get offended by this. But that's just my opinion. I just can't take the society where if you have an opinion, you're on a platform about opinions.
Right.
But you can't have an opinion.
Nope.
But I can speculate as to, is there any gold in Fort Knox? Is there? I don't know. They can't get audited. What about the Fed? Can't audit them. What's to hide? I don't know. Might be everything. We came off the gold standards in the 70s. So the money that you have in your pocket is a scam. That's why Bitcoin is going crazy right now. Buy gold and silver and just make sure you're prepared for it. Because this collapse, this reset that was supposed to happen, we were supposed to be in a war right now.
Right.
Right? Who was the person? Okay, if that nightmare was elected, we wouldn't even be doing this right now. Wouldn't even have a choice. And now you have to get these passports? What? Like you have to just go back. You've studied on what they did to the Jewish heritage and
Right.
what they did.
Mm-hmm.
First thing they did is they took away their what? How did they defend themselves?
Well, took away their weapons.
They
right?
took away their weapons, right? And then they said, hey, by the way, we're going to shave your head because we're giving you a free haircut. What it was to show what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
Then what did they put on their chests? A little pin that looked like what? Star, right?
Star.
Right? And Jewish people were so proud of who they were. They're like, hey, you know what?
Yeah, a little Jewish star. That's great.
Whatever. That's us. That's who we are. One fundamental mistake was the trust. Hey, listen, we're going to take you to a place where you're safe. Hop on the trains. So, that's happening right now. Okay? And don't say that there can't be something like this. Just Google FEMA camps all over the country. Why is all that money going to these places? I'm trying to use select words of what they've ordered, but I can't. Unless we just don't want to have a channel at all, we have to just play by the rules. Eventually, we're not going to have to. But, we talk about this every day. We are at our precipice. And I know we're ranting and probably should keep these recordings a lot shorter. But you need to fight too. And how you fight? Spread channels like this. Get your voice out there. Comment. Subscribe. Like.
Overload them.
Yeah, overload them. To the point where these people are so stupid. They would rather take their biggest client. I'm not talking about or what was the other word we used for the face? No. Okay. their biggest client, and then their stock got crushed. They don't care about you. They'll never care about you. Only you can care about you. Just listen, when this thing is all over, I hope you have a great bottle of champagne or a nice bottle of wine or some crack cocaine, if that's your thing. Don't do crack. Never ends well. Nobody recovers from it. Or the injecting of
No heroin.
Seth. You know what it is. You can't say that word either. Why? It's just ridiculous. But we're going to come back to you in a couple days, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? It depends if this video even gets out there. But we care about you. Hopefully you care about us. Mm-hmm. And Ray, myself, I don't know if I told you, I'm Andrew. People call me Drew. It's common. But we want to keep you updated. So if you want hope, you want news, then you need to come to us. And we're going to give you it straight. We do our homework. We don't watch typical news, but we do watch a lot of things to get a general idea of what's true and what's not. And this Floyd case is going to be overextended to the point where there's going to be, I bet you anything, there's going to be another you can't say their word, type of attack, which is happening. Do you realize how many are going on right now? Mm-hmm. It's insane.
I know.
But the Proud Toys, do you think that they can censor it because it sounds like it?
No. I hope not.
But then again, we thought we weren't going to get censored because we were such a small channel, right?
Yeah, 10 views and bam.
They must be really afraid that this could take off because you don't get, when you try to take out a drug thing, you don't go after the minions. You go after the top. Why are they interfering with us? Like, why? Because you know what? We're going to get a shitload of subscribers. You know why? Because we're telling you what they're not telling you.
It's their version of broken windows.
Yes.
You go after the small crimes, and it stops the big crimes. That's the
mentality, yeah. But you know what? This thing here has the proper number of states on it. You start adding 2 more. You start packing the shorts. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay? And you start, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put a quote up there from someone who is kind of the most powerful person on the planet. And he said, anybody that is a president that does what? What are all those things?
Leads by orders.
Executive things.
Something, yeah.
Is a dictionary. I can't say the word. Dictionary-ator.
Here it is. It's right here. There it is. Okay.
Dictionary-ator. You know what I'm talking about. 60. This is like it's one last thing I want to say. Anything that the left is guilty of, they accuse the right of. And right now, they've been proving that 100%. But you have a beautiful thing called the Constitution. You know, we had the Declaration of Independence, obviously, in 1776, and the Constitution wasn't formally, in our country until I think it was 1782, I think. Mm-hmm. It took like 5 or 6 years to perfect the imperfections from England, and even then it wasn't perfect.
Right.
But that's why we had the amendments.
Right.
And we do have rights right now. But if you don't pass a video like this on, I know they're long, but we have to vent. We're tired of all these things happening, and there's nothing being done about it. But trust the fact that this has been the plan all along, because you don't give somebody like the D, you don't give him 5 years to prepare for something that he knows is going to happen, and he just goes silently out into the night. You have to just listen to key words. I'll see you soon. Or everyone needs to go home now. There's pain. They know because the other side has a playbook, and they don't even hide it anymore. What we talked about in the last video that got banned was the fact that I told him within 5 hours, I said, there's going to be another I don't know if it's today, tomorrow, whatever. It's going to happen. And he said, he goes, why? I go, because there's a bill for in the Senate. And you know what? By golly, John, guess what happened?
2 hours later.
Bang. And they didn't even do it just because they even included for China. I mean, I don't want to laugh. But if I can predict stuff like that, and I can predict that there's going to be a couple more things that are going to happen soon, and the fact that Congress can't even deal with that. You need an executive order. People, stop. Stop making excuses. Just stop. Enough's enough. We're tired of it. And we really hope to God that you guys get the message across. So I think we should just wrap it up.
I think that's it.
I think we got our point across.
I think so.
And if we didn't, I don't know what else to say. You know, we're pissed off.
Enjoy this video. It'll be up for about 3 hours.
All right, guys. We'll catch up with you on the next one, if there is a next one, and whatever.
Oh, and Maxine Waters.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could extend that figure, like Pinocchio style. Like, what a waste of space. All right. We'll see you later. Bye. Okay.